Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I'm, of course, Jimmy, and we are proudly sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield and VMB Auto Centres. All the links are in the description below if you want to get anything to do with the people that support us the most. Thank you to everybody for tuning in this morning. And we're here to talk, well, you can't have out, can you? You can't have out. So what originally was planned as a Ramble exclusive has since been leaked by other sources. Thanks, mates. Thanks, lads. But I'm here to put some flesh on the bones. So for those, and there will be other stuff that we need to get into that I'll update you on, because there's loads of rumours flying around, which you expect for this time of the season. We're not quite close, but it's inching towards the end of the transfer window. People have started the season now. They'll know whether if they've got a bad start, then they might start to panic a little bit and maybe drop a few more quid here and there and that sort of thing. So let's start with the topic of the hour. So a few weeks ago, actually, and it's been a long time. It's been a long way. Sometimes it's great getting to know little bits of information, but honestly, the way you cope with it is, it's one of them things, really. So we've known, well, I think the majority of people have known for a long time, and we'd certainly hinted at it enough but tried to avoid talking about it, was Gus Hamer had a release clause in his contract. Now, I'm not going to talk about what we signed him for or anything like that, but the release clause was more than we paid for him. And from what I understand, the release clause was £17.5 million. So the two players that we went into this season, before we signed anybody, the two players that we went into this season wanting to keep at all costs were Gus Hamer and Ollie Arblaster. That doesn't mean if somebody drops 40 million quid, they won't still go, because they will. But all intents and purposes, they were the two that we saw as pivotal to our promotion push. We got Ollie Arblaster tied down last season to a long-term contract. We hold the cards now. You never stand in a player's way, or money can be too good to turn down at times. But we don't no plans to sell Ollie Arblaster. The only vulnerability we had with Gus was this release clause, and the fact that it wasn't out in the public, this £17.5 million figure, doesn't mean that agents and other people won't know about it. But as we've always said on the Ramble, anything that we do will not is not going to be detrimental to the club, or certainly that's never the intention. If it's ever done, then it's purely by accident. So I wasn't going to come on here and tell everybody about the £17.5 million release clause. And after doing a little bit of digging and talking to people, and what can we do about this? Can we offer him a new contract? How has it dropped? Why has it expired? What was the situation with it? A lot of people are saying, well, we knew it was up at the end of this window. Does it mean it reactivates again for the same time period next season? All this sort of thing. So basically, the detail of Gus Hamer's release clause is, it's nothing to do, from what I'm aware, it's nothing to do with it being a year to the day since he signed for us. It's because written into the contract is it's 21 days before the window shuts. So, and that was done intentionally so that if somebody does trigger that clause, then we are able to have the last 3 weeks of the window to go out and find a suitable replacement. So that is the Gus Hamer news, and essentially it's now expired. His clause is wiped. He's a Sheffield United player, as he always has been in since he signed. But what I'm saying is there's no danger of somebody triggering an offer that we're not satisfied with and him going. So it's brilliant news for Sheffield United. It means those vital three that we've got now, Gus, O'Hare, Arblaster, hopefully are with us for at least the season. unless a ridiculous money offer comes in. I'm also here to catch you up on a few other little bits that have been going on. I've seen this morning, Alan Nixon, and look, he sometimes gets stuff right with Sheffield United. He sometimes gets it way, way wrong. And I certainly don't. I'm not here to call him or anything like that because he's got some stuff on nail on the head. But this morning, I think I've seen a report that's gone in our group that says Plymouth wants £6 million for Michael Cooper and we're not willing to go anywhere near it. Well, I can confirm to you that's not true at all. They might want it. I don't know what Plymouth want, but in terms of getting closer to a bit, we bid yesterday for Michael Cooper, and the way it was described to me was it's our final offer. We are confident that Plymouth will accept. That doesn't mean they will. But if they don't, then we'll move on to other targets. We have offered what we deem to be fair, and that may come out in terms of what the number is. It may not, but it's nowhere near the 6 million figure that's being touted. So we are back in for Michael Cooper, despite the Rushworth links, despite the other links elsewhere. We obviously have to have plan B and possibly plan C spinning as well. So I'm not saying it's not true that we haven't bid for Carl Rushworth. I don't honestly know. I certainly know that he's of interest to us. But our number one target has been, and will be Michael Cooper. What I will say is, if he's in your fantasy team, your fantasy AFL team, I would take him out for today because I don't think he'll be playing. The lad wants to be a blade, and we want him to be a blade. So, fingers crossed, it's all moving in the right direction. Saki. You all want to know about what's happening with Saki. From what I understand, and I've seen that there's just been some news dropped that Leeds are apparently preparing a £15 million bid for him. Well, that would blow us out of the water. We're not going to compete for a permanent deal with him. If that's the case, that may scupper our plans. And I don't know if that's the case or not, but I think it's a Nixon story again. So it may be true, it may not be true. That will likely be if Leeds have been turned down by Jonathan Rowe or can't or won't meet his price. So Saki, as far as I'm aware, wants to come to Sheffield United. All agreed between the clubs, the player, everything. It's just formalities. However, people representing him, and he's got more than one person representing him, are trying to tout him around just for a final little hurrah in terms of can we get more money elsewhere. From what I understand, Leeds were not in the running at that stage. So if they've come in this morning, it's very late. But we'll see what happens with that. I'm told the next 24 to 48 hours are pretty crucial in terms of that. The last little bit I'll touch on is Tyrese Campbell. As reported earlier on, seen it on Sheffield United Way, seen it by Darren. Everybody say, I think Darren's confirmed it. Tyrese Campbell's done, signed, sealed, sorted, ready to be unveiled. Hopefully that will be later today in time for some involvement at Wrexham. Don't know how fit he is. Don't know whether he's been training. I don't think he's been training with us, but whether he's been keeping himself fit. It's very unlikely that he'll start the Wrexham game, but it'd be nice to see him for 10 minutes or so if we can get it done in time. But there you go. That's your news roundup for today. So, fair bit to digest there. It's just nice to be able to come on, knowing that you're not scuppering any sort of plans that the club has got, but able to sort of put people in the picture as to what's going on as well. So I'll get into some comments and then I'm going to shoot off because I'm going for a bit of breakfast with Under the Blade. Morning, Jimmy. What brilliant news on Gus. Going to be such a key player. From what you see of him, he really wants to be here too. Best championship midfield for sure. Absolutely right, Scott. We're untouchable in midfield in this league, I think. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, mate. Absolutely brilliant news, says Dave. Gus and O'Hare, when they fully gel again in midfield, will rip up the championship this season. Couple more additions and we're top two. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Love that. If Saki doesn't happen for whatever reason, do we have any other backup options in the plan? Bowler, for example. Surely Agent Dino has helped get it over the line. I'm still confident this deal happens. Like, if a permanent deal for him from Leeds comes in, then that may change the goalposts. But in terms of a loan, Leeds weren't in the running. We were in pole position. and I still believe we are. So I'm not aware of any firm backups. There will be, but we'll cross that bridge if we have to come to it. Hopefully, I've got you up to speed there, Jack. Am I missing something? Why is it brilliant news? Best news of the transfer window, says David. Up the blades, up the ramble, like and subscribe. On off key Gus. An off key Gus is still better than most midfielders in this league. Up the blades, up the absolutely right, Nate. So I didn't think he played particularly well the other night, but he still scored a beauty, didn't he? And he can turn that on in an instant. Just top class. It's brilliant news. Love the wrestling match with Big Chief Keith and the Preston defence. He's going to bully defenders all season. And Agent Bogle also doing the work up north. Like and subscribe to Sir Jimmy Ramble. Yes, mate. Yeah, love that Bogle's performance. And look, I've had some stick on here before for going at ex-players like Wes, and I'm going to do it now with Bogle. And certainly Sander Berger. But for those that leave us under a bit of a cloud, and Bogle pushed to move to Leeds, why would I then? I know he did a great job for us and he was a good servant for us, but I think you sort of tarnish your reputation with the fans when you say, no, I'm not willing to sign a new contract here. I'll go to a divisional rival instead. So for me, Jayden Bogle, that you played the man on side for the first goal against Portsmouth yesterday and then gave away a ridiculous penalty, which you've done for us so many times, so that they could get in front. And you only got a point at home to somebody who's newly promoted. So unlucky. We're above you in table and we had -2 points after one game. Ridiculous. Everyone has beaten you to it, Jimmy. But if people joined the Platinum Ramblers, they would have found out a lot earlier. Nice, Joe. Nice little sales pitch. Great news, though. Would take a massive bid to get him out now. Up the blades, up the Ramble. So excited for this season. It's going to be a season to remember. Up the blades, up the... Too right, Daz. Too right, mate. Only player that can leave for me is garbage. The rest have to stay. I think that might be the club's perspective as well. Look, there still might be some outs, but anybody that goes now, I know there's concern about Anel and Souza. Souza's got a long contract. I'm not so bothered about him, but if somebody comes in for Anel, we will replace him. I'm not saying it'll be like for like that we'll get a international player, but we'll use some of that money to replace him, whether it's long-term rumoured names like Joe Worrell, Chris Mepham. Obviously, we've got Harry Souttar now as well, which I'm sure was brought in for that eventuality. So, but we do need to make sure we replace like for like, and I think we will. This is an early one. I know, Sonny, I know. Well, I thought I'd be breaking it, to be honest. But then at midnight last night, Darren Smith tweeted out about it. He didn't realise, to be fair, he wasn't doing it on purpose. And then when news has come out, Sheffield United way have confirmed it. And then obviously I wasn't going to speak on it much because I'd already set this up. So I thought I'd just clear the air when we got on air. We need player reviews from Andy the Blade. Nail him down. Nail him down. I'll try and get a couple while he's eating his sausage sarnie this morning. Nick up to his usual trick saying Leeds are on top in the Saki chase. They're certainly not they're not even in the loan race. I genuinely don't know if they've bid 15. What I would say is I'll be surprised if they've bid 15 million quid for him when they wouldn't go to 10 million for Johnny Rowe. Because Johnny Rowe, I think, I haven't seen enough of Saki to know the difference between. If he's as good as people reckon he is, then I'm not sure Palace will want to sell. Hello, Jimmy Ramble King. What are you talking about? What do you think about the realistic valuation of Gus now? Surely upwards of 30 mil. I think if we get 30 mil, he goes. But it's, yeah, I won't be looking at all else. Because now we're not really in a position where we need to sell. And the club is of the position that it'll have to be ridiculous offers now to sell, particularly for those players with long contracts. Then I don't think we will. I don't think we will sell. Unless it's daft money, which 30 million probably is. Any truth to Plymouth wanting 6 million for Cooper? No, pal. Well, they might want it. They're not going to get it. If so, I think Rushworth on loan is the best option. Try and come back in January or wait till his contract expires if they're playing silly beggars. Absolutely right. But isn't Cooper coming in? Sounds like Plymouth wants 6 mil. Sorry, these were all going in just as I went live, weren't they? So, morning, Jimmy. Currently on car ride to Southampton to go on holiday. Oh, brilliant, mate. Have a good time. Delighted here is staying, and better news that we get better news than a new transfer. We know his quality, and if we give him time and belief, he delivers. That's right. That's right. So Bladesman's just confirming that Sheffield United have made the latest, possibly last offer for Plymouth goalkeeper Michael Cooper. The offer is close to 3 million plus extras and doesn't meet Plymouth's asking price. We'll see. We'll see about that, Nico. I think it might. Is the 6 million figure correct? No, Josh, it ain't. No, mate. Wow, you are live while I'm still awake. I know, mate. I know. Hope you're well, mate. Thailand, Tim. Good morning, Jimmy. It was an excellent result on Friday. It was. And that was our first game as a set of new players. I can only get better from here. I'm glad Hamer will be part of our squad. Me too. How many people were saying, don't worry, Sheffield United will lose Hamer. Hamer's gone. Hamer's not even going to be a part of their squad. Well, he is now. Best news of the window, says David. Absolutely right. Up the blades, up the ramble. Keep up with the content. Thank you, pal. We are back, actually. This is the first of 2 rambles today. We'll be doing the warm-up tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm not going to be long today because, as I say, I'm going out. So we can catch up on everything we're talking about now later on at 7 o'clock when we do the Wrexham warm-up. No worries, June. Thank you, pal. Wait till there's no more. Wait, so there's no more release clause. Also, why is this Palace deal not done yet? I hope that's sort of cleared it up for you, Jack. We want Ricky J. Jones. You're greedy, Ricky. That's all I'll tell you, mate. Odd Slits is greedy. This is brilliant news. Jimmy says Pixies now he can command a huge fee if he wants to leave in the future. Good start to Friday. Here's hoping. A good start Friday night. Here's hoping for a win Tuesday night. Absolutely right. I will be there. You're an early lad. 240 watching. Only 20 likes. There's 300 now. Come on, lads and lasses. Smash the like button. Thank you. Morning, Dave the Nose. Positive news out of the lane? Surely not. I know, mate. I know it's crazy, innit? It just keeps... The positive news has just continued to flow on it. Which it needed to do. Don't get me wrong, because we started in a dire position when all those like stalwarts walked out or left or were released or wouldn't renew, whatever it was. We're in some vulnerable position then, but look at the work that's gone in now. Looking forward to the Disney FC game, but more looking forward to QPR on Saturday. Back in Triple Point and then to beautiful downtown Bramall Lane for another 3 points. Mate, up the blades, up the ramble, like and subscribe. Top Rambler. Thank you, David boy. Morning, Jimmy. Playing catch up. Had a late one. Gussie's ours. Up the ramble, up the blades. Thank you, David. Another top rambler. Up the blades, up the ramble. Seen your thunder was stolen last night by Darren, says Scott. From what I've heard, Blades are in for a busy few days. Scott, the man always in the know, or always scouting the different sources. I don't think Palace want to sell a prospect like him, says Aaron. Yeah, probably right. Probably right. Reports on Chamberlain coming any truth? No. Nothing in the Ox. Are the Liam Miller rumours dead in the water from the start of the transfer window? Firstly, you never heard that from me. I never once reported that Liam Miller were coming in, because he wasn't. And he signed for Hull a few days ago. So, yes, we can officially put those to bed. Yeah, so Scott's confirmed that as well. Watched the game yesterday. Leeds looked dangerous at some points, but if they play like that against us, we wipe the floor. Bogle playing rugby. Yeah, they were wasteful yesterday, weren't they? They had a lot of chances, a lot of shots on goal, but they've not changed, have they, Leeds? They're just gung-ho. It's going to be interesting. Up the blades, up the Ramble Skegness branch. Nice one, Gaz. Great news today, says Dan. We've got one of the best squads in the league. Need strength up top and goalkeeper. Then we're going up. Oh, love it. I'm not a fan of Vinny off the pitch, but the other day he played insane. Insane's a push, Charlie, but he played well. Up the blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. I don't think Palace would want to sell right now. For them, he could be the next Eze. I agree. I don't think they'll want to sell. Morning, Jimmy. Exciting season to come now. What a game. Solid and convincing. It's just early days. Keep the injuries to a minimum and we'll be up there come May. Absolutely right, Rach. Up the blades, up the Ramble. Would Cooper not being in the squad today pretty much all but confirm he's coming? I think you can... I hate to say it like this, but he's pulling a Ramsdale, isn't he? He's pretty much pulling a Ramsdale. It's happened to us before. It's never nice. It's never nice, but it's all right when it works in your favour. So, yeah, he's not... from everything I'm being told, he's not in the squad today. Leeds Pigs fans were adamant he's gone. Love it. I know. Me too. Me too. 7 p.m. back to the middle of the night lives. Can someone explain? I'm so confused. Jack, I know you've caught up by now, mate, so I'll skip past that for now. The season that just keeps on giving, says Josh. Yeah, it's been brilliant, this close season, how it's developed. We're still not there yet. We can't get ahead of ourselves. Will you be in a fit state to do the Ramble this evening after your dad's had you on the report? Yeah, it's all right. I'm only nipping for a bite to eat. and a catch up, and then we'll be back. Will the release clause be back next year if we're still in a champ? Says Harry. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. No, confirmed this. It's gone forever. It was valid from the first season that we were relegated from the Premier League up until 21 days before the transfer window closed. So there you go. Do you have any news on the takeover? The hotel has started taking bookings from the 24th of August. Thought Prince Abdullah wasn't touching the hotel till the takeover was complete. The takeover is progressing well, is the only update I've got for you. And I know that's not what people want to hear, but it's not. The thing is, if I said, oh, we're expecting something next week, then not only will I get hounded for next week, it'll just build people's hopes up because there's all sorts of twists and turns it can take. I think it's probably best to say I'm very confident it now goes through. But I wouldn't want to sort of raise people's expectations, pal. Thought the whole season, Saki deal fell through with Southampton was because they wouldn't sell him. No, I think, Louis, Southampton wanted a loan and Palace only wanted to sell to a divisional rival if they were going to lose him for big money, obviously. So they didn't want to loan him to Southampton, who might be battling for a similar spot as them. So I think that was the issue with Southampton. Jimmy Leeds didn't have to sell Somerville, but they sold him to West Ham for 25 mil with add-ons, despite his value by Leeds at 30 to 40. If a Hamer bid of 20 to 25 mil comes in, Hamer, he could well leave. He could leave Michael, Lord Michael Brown. He could leave. Who knows what the club's going to value him, particularly under the new ownership. But the power's back in our hands with that intake. I think, as always, you've got to be fair with the player as well. If Newcastle comes in for him like they did with Asula, and he wants to go, you can't be... You've got the power to veto it now, but you've also got to be reasonable, aren't you, in terms of other players will see that and think, well, I'm not signing for them because as soon as he gets a chance to go to a big club, he's given them all that he can, played really well for him, knocked down tools, but they don't let him have an opportunity to go on when they've had a fair offer for him. So there's loads of things to weigh up, but I won't worry about it. Just because his clause is wiped out, he might still go for 25. It's not a bad thing, is it? Wilder said post-match he expects 2 more through the door before Wrexham. Reading? You mean QPR? I would expect 2 more in by QPR. I think Campbell probably gets announced before Wrexham. Any news on the takeover? Oh, that puts you a bit more in the picture, Charlie. Why did the Blades allow Lowe to go to the other lot across the city? It might be the dark horses for promotion push with their highly rated manager. He's a very good manager, but where does Lowe come in our squad now? He's behind Harrison Burrows. He's probably I'd say he's behind Sam McCallum. He's behind Reece Norrington-Davis. He's 4th choice, and for the wage that we were paying him, it's not worth renewing him. Personally, Wrexham prediction. I'll be back tonight for the warm up. We'll talk Wrexham tonight. Release clause won't be active in Jan. Then says Tim. Nope. No more clause. Clause has gone. Morning all. After Campbell, any news on another striker? Not yet. Man Mountain, not yet, mate. I think once these 3 deals are resolved, that might evolve a little bit, but we'll see. Somerville was release clause, so I don't think it's a fair comparison. Low is rubbish, says Happy Chappy. That's my own fault for not reading the comment before I put it up. If he was so good, why didn't Forest want him once they got promoted? Why didn't they? I think you're in the minority if you think Max Lowe improves us this season. But again, it's all about opinions. So, Lord Michael Brown is entitled to his as well. Also heard Wilder wants a smaller squad, but with our injury record, that sounds pretty naive to me. Yeah, I think it's a balance in it, Tim. We've got to have numbers, and you can't rely on youth, but it's getting that sweet spot between not being too risky with limited numbers. I think matchday squads are 20 now. So maybe a squad of 20 that could, with 18 that could step in and be part of the first team at any time, like your Shackletons, would be a decent number to aim for. Thought Slimani did okay when he came on. I thought he did okay, Gaz. Yeah, I thought he did okay. Don't you think it's weird no one has come in for our players? No. Look at how we performed last season. So no, I don't. Plymouth now asking 6 million for Cooper, says C-Stick. No, they're not, pal. Don't. Well, they might be. But they're not going to get that. Forest did want him. We wouldn't sell him on the cheap. I'm not sure that's... Well, maybe that's right. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for joining me this early morning. It's only been a quick... That's really quick for us, isn't it? But 25-minute stream. I like it, just like old times. But thank you everybody for joining us. I will be back tonight with the Wrexham preview for the warm up. So join us then at 7 o'clock. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up that way.